Board members and committee members, good evening. My name is Andrew Han. Excuse me. I represent Lennar Homes. The agenda had me associated with Lee Andrews Group, so just want to make
I
clarification.
apologize for that. There will be
No,
a corrected copy that is on the web.
I was here several months ago to talk about the other community, Glen Elder project, and I'm here to talk about the last Subida. I appreciate the invitation back. After the last time, I wasn't sure you're going to invite me back, but I made it here, so I guess that's a good thing here. A little bit of background on this community. As you know, the Hacienda La Fuente School District has gone through a public process for a number of years to figure out what is the best use for the La Subida site after the district has closed the educational facility here. And they have evaluated a range of different development proposals that range from more higher density to a lower density and various configurations. And they have landed on a configuration generally in the way that I'm here to present to you as we are going to. I want to make one clarification that Lennar Homes does not own the site today. Okay? We have a contract to purchase the property upon completing our land use entitlements, meaning that we secure all of the approvals from the County of Los Angeles and Board of Supervisors in order to proceed with the development, and at that time we will proceed to acquire the property and proceed with the construction. My understanding is that the district has even offered this site for purchase by the county to maintain as open space, but the county has elected not to do so. I'm not too familiar with the process that the school district has undertaken, but Ricardo is here and he can speak more details about it if needed. One additional pertinent information about the site is the site is used for athletic events by AYSO as well as other community groups. And the school district has been in conversation with AYSO, and my understanding has made a significant progress, and AYSO generally is satisfied with the progress made, and they believe that the AYSO and the school district will come to an agreement to facilitate their playing elsewhere. I think that's an important element to keep in mind. About the development itself, the site is approximately 12 acres. We are proposing two-story single-family detached homes, much like the one that's in the surrounding community, with a minimum lot size of 8,000 square feet. Okay? 8,000 square feet is consistent with almost the identical in lot sizes to the neighborhood property to just the west of the proposed development. So the lot sizes, which determine the configuration, how much square footage you can put on and so forth, will blend in perfectly with the neighborhood. It will not look much denser. It will not, with the exception that this is a new community, a new construction, with the architectural style that complements the neighborhood, but also in tune with the new trends. You will not see much difference in the way the community or the neighborhood is developed. We are proposing 5-bedroom homes ranging in size from 3,800 square feet to 4,500 square feet. So there's our fairly large homes here. You will have 3 to 4 car garages, along with driveway that can accommodate 2 additional cars, as well as plenty of street parking. So the site itself is big enough to accommodate a lot more homes, depending on the type of products we decided to pursue. But I think the school district has landed that to restrict the number of homes in order to make sure that they have a balancing act between the impacts to the neighborhood how it will be perceived, as well as the funding or the land sale proceeds that the district is counting on in order to fund their facility upgrades elsewhere in the district. These homes will have solar panel standard, as well as have the various energy features. That's the standards for today, as well as home automation features that are primarily driven everything by smart speakers. That has the and you will have the video doorbells, a smart thermostat, garage door openers, and all of those will be standard packages. One distinctive feature of this community that I would like to make a note of is that the 20 out of 53 homes being planned in this community is what we call the next gen. Next gen is a sort of like a home within a home. It's really intended to facilitate multi-generational living. So what it will have is it will have a approximately 650 square foot kind of in-suite apartment unit that has a connecting door internally, and for multi-generational living situations where perhaps the parents want to live in the next-gen suite, you have your own separate entrance. You will have separate living area. You'd have separate bedroom, balcony, bathroom, also garage. You will have limited kitchen facilities because depending on the type of and extent of kitchen facilities you put in, it can be classified as duplex according to the land use regulations. So it's really for we have found a lot of success within Lennar for this type of arrangements. The two, the intergenerational living where they want to be together, they can be together. You just open up the internal connection door and be separate when you want to be. And we've seen a variety of different applications for this. Some folks use it for their office. Some people use it for the independently living adult children who goes on to college and find their way back, and it's applicable to a variety of different living situations, and I think this will be one distinctive feature of this community, and I hope it will be well received. Let me speak a little bit about where we are in the process. We have submitted an initial application. It has gone through the review by the county staff. I believe a copy has been forwarded to this group. We are still going through the technical studies and various elements that go into verifying all the nuances and details how the community works. We intend to go back for the second plan check probably in the next couple of months. We will be going out to the community to have a separate town hall meeting, if you will. Some of you may know, I see several members of the community here who attended the town hall meeting that took place last week for Glen Elder community. I think it was very well attended. We appreciate the input. We hope to do the same thing. Hopefully we will broaden the group and announce a little more robustly so that all the folks who want to participate in it can attend, and we'll do better notifying the group. And the entitlement itself probably will take another year and a half to go through the county before we will reach the point of a public hearing. So that's what I have for you today. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this point.
You described it as a single-family dwelling.
Yes.
As a next-gen facility. So how do you soft sell something like that? Well, basically you're building a single-family dwelling with a rental apartment built into it.
Yeah. Well, the technical definition of what is a single-family or duplex is primarily governed by actually whether you have a full working stove in the kitchen or not. If you have that, that's usually considered.
You take a little portable propane stove and set it on the counter, and it's no longer a problem. You still have a living structure.
Well,
Okay, my next question.
Well, let me answer that question first. Okay, so let me think. All right. But the second element, the second part of my response is, the state has made a lot of efforts into developing what they call ADU units, you may have heard of, accessory dwelling units. Okay? The concept is really a modern version of ADU, except in a more modern setting. Okay? So in an ADU setting, it's a single-family detached home or attached home, and you can develop above the garage what we used to call the granny units, and that still fits within the land use of this. So that kind of just what I wanted to tell you. So I think you had another question.
Yes, you're also describing a single-family home as having a 3-4-car garage with approximately 3 spaces in the driveway.
2 spaces. Typically, these are about, you can accommodate about 2 cars.
Okay, so you're looking somewhere between 6-7 cars for a single family.
Is that a?
Man, that's a big family.
Well, it is
So
48
when
to
you take the
45
34 houses that are approximately in that one loop,
Yeah.
that puts you somewhere between 102 and 150 cars worth of traffic coming out of just that one section.
Okay.
What are the plans for traffic flow? 'Cause my street's adjacent to that, and I envision a lot of people speeding up and down my street. I mean, 150 cars, that's a nice traffic jam on my driveway.
Okay. So number of cars on facility. These are 5-bedroom homes. Okay. So I think the 5 private car, at least the garage and driveway, they can accommodate 5 cars. I think it will be appreciated. I don't think you want to be in a situation where people are parking their cars on the street that interfere with your entry into and out of the community.
And parking's their problem, I'm worried about the traffic flow. I mean, I basically have 0 right now.
Okay. Thank you. So on that point, okay, a traffic study needs to be prepared, and actually is being prepared and being submitted to the county. And that determines, they will go through the process of, is there a impact associated with number of vehicle trips to be generated for this community? The traffic study will determine, is there traffic impact at various intersections? Are the roadways capable of handling additional cars? So all those questions and all these issues will come up. I do know that the speeding is not just in this community, everywhere where I live as well. So that's something that we continue to kind of pay attention to, how we can perhaps build in some of the kind of traffic calming devices. We do our best to do that. It is subject to still the county rules, and we do need to, they have a certain regulations as to what can and go in and what cannot go in. Some of it has to do with emergency access. If you put a speed bump, for example, the county fire or does not permit that, because sometimes they can damage the fire trucks and also impede the access of the fires and paramedics. But that is an issue being studied, and it is part of the application that we have to complete. Okay?
Question, what if the study's completed, and as this gentleman explains here, there's 150 to 200 more cars. I live a block and a half away from this place.
Okay.
Angel Crest and Catholic.
Okay.
Already, it's like the 405 on a Friday afternoon
Yeah.
with schools. My St. Mark's up the street, Newton Elementary, or
Yeah.
it's already like the 405 on a Friday afternoon traffic. You're telling us,
Yeah.
now listen, block and a half away from where I'm at.
Yeah.
You're telling us that adding, how many, 200-300 cars, you think, isn't gonna be a problem? Have you been over there?
I've been there several
Okay,
times.
what did you think?
St. Mark's Place, I think, has a traffic problem
No.
today,
No,
Ray said.
have you been to Catley and Angel?
I have been there, yes. I have been there.
Okay, then my question
several
is,
times.
hang on, my question then is, what if they do the study and they find out they can't accommodate the traffic, then what?
Well, if you cannot, then well, let me answer before you give your reaction.
I'm waiting for your answer,
That's
go ahead.
okay. Once the traffic study is complete, the county reviews it. Okay? Then we have to do what we call the mitigation measures. Okay? Sometimes the mitigation measure means you gotta put a traffic signal. Sometimes mitigation means you gotta widen the road. Sometimes it means that we gotta give up a piece of land in front of us to facilitate the visual. There's various things that has to go through. Okay? So if sometimes traffic impacts and mitigation is not even doable because it could be controlled by Caltrans, it could be a federal designated
Then
highway.
what, you pull the
right?
project?
I'm sorry?
If you can't mitigate,
Yeah.
you pull the project, you stop the project?
We will mitigate the project. If you have a condition where we cannot possibly mitigate it, we'll redesign to meet it. Okay? We may change the product, we may change the number of homes on it. We can do a variety of things to meet the traffic, right?
Does that include altering that little postage stamp of a park you have in there for?
It may be. By the way, the open space there is actually, the reason for that is there is a existing a well there that's being capped. So we need to make access to cap as part of the state's, in case that they need to access the cap. That's what they actually do.
Hey, where are the grade school children going to go to school?
Yes.
I live over by Los Altos Elementary, and they just added 6 new individual rooms to that school, and now those kids don't even live there yet, so that means our whole playground is going to get more individual school rooms.
Well, I don't know the operations of the school district that well, but what I've been told is that one of the reasons that school district actually is anxious to see residential development on the sites that they are proposed and selling is because their school enrollment is dropping. I'm not the you can address that to the school district. But they would like to see the more school-age children being in the community, and that's one of and they have assured me that they have more than adequate capacity to serve these the people the people who live there. The student generation, that number of students that's expected to come from this community, the school district estimates to be about 30 or 33 kids. Yeah. So I think I imagine that can be pretty well accommodated in the system. But I don't know. That's something that I think a question that you can direct it to the school district and make sure they
Please tell me again, how many homes are you planning on?
53 homes and about 10 to 12 acres.
53 homes?
Yes.
You know, there's this public engagement with the school district had those meetings last year. You know, I went to all of them. And there was overwhelming opposition as to the development of a housing tract in there. They did not listen because we wanted maybe a little doggy park there, walking trails, open space, but there's nothing that the people wanted in that plan.
Thank you.
As guaranteed by Supervisor Hahn
Yes, it was.
and her group,
Yes.
the meetings that we had with them.
Okay, out of respect for the people who are raising their hands, let's let Andrew try to reach out to them. All good questions, excellent comments. But let's make sure that he can, and everybody who wants to talk and who's putting their hand up gets a chance. Thank you.
Sir?
Didn't answer it.
So you're saying it's 53 homes?
I'll answer your question.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I mean, if you're gonna answer this question.
Sure,
I'll
yeah.
wait.
No.
In the comments where I added, I kind of lost the train of thought. Well, obviously, the week come after the decision being made by the school district as to how they want to dispose of the property. Okay? That decision's been made by entity other than us. So I think I can understand that perhaps you are not happy with the process that was led or that the decision that was rendered at the end of the process. And I think that's something that you should direct it to the school district. We obviously, they have selected us to pursue development on this site, and that's the role that I fulfill. So I think it's difficult for me to speak on behalf of the school district as to how to respond to that.
So District Blanket said, put nothing but homes there?
They didn't say we put in a proposal. They looked at the number of homes, number of square footage, a general site plan, and they have received multiple offers, I believe. And they've gone through the process and has deliberated, school board, has determined that this is the path that they want to pursue.
What was the square footage again?
The 53 homes between 38 and 4,500 square feet is what we're proposing.
Gentleman against the back wall.
Hi. Okay, okay, that plan there, you said has 53 homes.
Yeah.
And you said it'll accommodate with using the driveway 5 cars. That's 265 vehicles, okay? Now, right now, with what I see is the property size are on an average 9,000 to 10,000 square feet.
Right.
Some are over 10,000 square feet, okay? And what I see now on the streets in the communities, I see homes with 7 cars, a boat, a trailer. I see a lot of trailers being parked on the streets now, okay? And no one's gonna deny the new families that move into these homes, if they wanna have boats and trailers, where are they gonna park those?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's gonna be a lot of congestion unless they put street code enforcement in there.
My comment about the 150 cars was just on that one U-shaped loop. That wasn't counting the Las Subida side.
It's 265 cars
Yeah.
without any parking on the street. That's a lot of traffic.
I think your point, and the other gentleman and the other folks as well, you have concern about traffic. I acknowledge.
Yeah.
You will be studying the traffic study, and whatever comes out of it, we will do our, to make sure that we mitigate it. So concerns, I acknowledge that. With respect to RV and boats, things of that sort, there will be an HOA that will be formed for this community. And as you know, the HOA has a governing document, among one of which it will be conditions, covenants, and restrictions that determine what can and cannot go on. Among some things, such as whether if the homeowner is not living by the rules that's set forth, it has an enforcement mechanism. So I imagine RV, boat, or too many cars on the driveway, or blocking the driveway, or all of those things will be, to a large extent, be controlled by the HOA.
Is this gated?
No, it's not.
How much a home?
I'm sorry.
How much are the homes?
We don't have pricing for that. Okay? It is a little bit further down the road, but given the size of it, it will be, I imagine, it will be north of $1 million.
Andrew.
Wait, how much?
North of $1 million.
North of $1 million.
That's affordable.
I know the plan will be complied to any zoning ordinance, and the county, you will work with the county. But I want to raise some issue, just follow the gentleman issue, the price range.
Okay.
Because when I see 5 bedroom, 4 bath, 3 garage, so I wonder what kind of family plan to bring with this company. Income range, how many kids, is a young growing family, or is a mature retired family, as you say, multi-generation.
Yeah.
What kind of family you plan to bring to this? Because you have to consist to our general character for our personal lives, right? So we try to make this, in the future, it really build up. We try to treat them as a part of our communities. You talk about condominium or condominium?
I said north of $1 million.
Okay. So what kind of family?
Okay, we are going to
I
have
know there's
3 more minutes on this particular topic. I'll have 3 more people, and if you've already asked a number of questions, please hold off and then let others who've not raised their hands yet get a question in. Can you answer Shojan's question real quick, please?
Okay. All right. So I'd be happy to kind of to explain the sort of target home buyers that we're going for. However, with respect to there is a fair housing rule that says we cannot discriminate against ethnic group, racial group, all of those things. So I will refrain from describing any of those. All right. The one thing that we noticed in our market study in this area is the bedroom counts matters a lot. And that seems to be the one segment, especially in this particular area. We are pursuing another development, as you know, in the Glen Elder that has a little bit different configuration, smaller in sizes. So we're going for two essentially groups that has this is not an entry level product, nor is it for the folks who are going to retire, right? Tends to be people who move up from their who have a home, but who wants a bigger home, has children, and as well as another group that tends to really value that having a added a flexibility that a next gen unit offers. So we can usually see our buyer group being the grandparents and parents with kids wanting to live here. I can see the families that currently has living elsewhere, and maybe it's the two families coming together because they're related. We can usually see the large, a family. It's not that unheard of. The 5-bedroom seems a lot, but it's not really, it's not.
Okay, Andrew, let's move on to Ann, please.
Sure.
In that area,
Yes.
there are no 5-bedroom houses. I
All right.
live right on that street.
Sure. We actually like
Except
that.
one exception.
Yeah.
They have one house that you're building
Yeah.
with a dual family.
Yeah.
But that's not feasible for that area. And of course, you should have taken a study of the traffic flow. My husband and I both took the traffic flow. Between 8 and 7 o'clock, there's over 2,000 cars that go up Vallecito and also La Subida. Now, what happens to all those children that you say are going to move into those houses, which families are only having one child, if two? And you're building these 5-bedroom houses. It's not compatible to that area. It doesn't make sense. You should have, and I'm still looking for the green space. Janice Hahn promised us we would have green space there. When they met with her, we'll see that you get green space. And those kids that are playing AYSO are going to Shabram Park, and their families are having to pay to see their kids play. That property should have been used for our children. As taxpayers, that's what we wanted.
Yes.
Andrew, one last question right here.
I'm sorry.
Quick question, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Since you have your opportunity to walking us through this, assuming in the next year, everything is all done, said and done, can you walk us through what the process is gonna be like? Being a homeowner on La Subida right in front of it, I did an extension to my home about 7 years ago for construction. I didn't have a room full of people against me, but my neighbors were not very happy, and it was just the 800 square foot construction. So I know how difficult it's gonna be in La Subida. This is obviously a much bigger animal. And can you walk us through, is it gonna be phase 1, phase 2? I see you have plan 1, plan 2.
Yeah.
What's the time frame? And just to give us an idea of what we're looking at, and how are our neighbors gonna be notified? We're currently notified by flyers and negativity instead of kind of doing some
Sure.
action.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. We do not intend, well, first of all, we're in the early stage of planning process. And assuming everything goes well, we expect to build the community in one phase. So we are not going to just build one portion, sell it and stop and go next door. It'll be one, just for all intensive purposes, it'll be one smooth, one phase construction. We will be breaking it up by 6 homes at a time or something thereabout, but that's more of a technical reason. It's not like we build and we stop. We just, you start 6 homes at a time, we just keep on moving along. Okay. We expect that construction itself probably will take about a year once we start. So you will see a fair amount of activity once they get going. The site has a little bit of a natural terrain to it. So you will need a little bit extra time for us to construct. Okay?
Okay, we are finished on this subject for the evening. Thank you very much. There's a lot of good questions, a lot of concerns put forward, I appreciate that, thank you, Andrew, thank you.